Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's a bit of a different filming setup than I would normally do, and today we are going to be looking at books that I am excited for coming out in February 2025, so this year. I haven't seen many books on the topic yet, but I imagine I'm probably not looking properly. I do have a script to just help jog my memory, as my memory is a little bit funny sometimes. And today, and I know this is going to be coming out because I've got other books, other reviews and things every 3 days already scheduled. So this is going to be coming out probably halfway through the month, and most of these books by then will probably also have been published. However, I want to see more videos about books that are coming out, books people are excited for, because I mostly see to be read books for February, people trying to meet the goals, or with January and all that kind of jazz. So this is my take on books that are coming out this month. So without further ado, let's get into it. First thing I am going to say is that there isn't going to be. I don't really tend to read romance books anymore, just because they tend to be spicy, and I don't like spicy. So if you're looking for any reviews or books along those lines, they are completely, for the most part, going to be missed out with these sort of videos from me in the future. Unless someone can convince me that their books are worth it and they're not all spicy, then I have got my eye on this cafe line that is by an author who is currently in the Asda shops at the moment. There are 4 books that this author does, and they're all based around coffee shops. But we're getting off topic for the video. So yeah, we are going to be looking at books that are coming out this month. So I did use Google and browse through books, and according to Google, we are getting hundreds of books through it this month, and for the most part, we aren't going to be reviewing 100 books. I'm just picked out a select few. The first book I want to talk about isn't out at the time of writing, and it comes out. Oh, actually, I'm filming this on the 4th of February, so it will be released today. It is A Killing Cold by Katie Alice Marshall. The first thing that caught me off guard is this book looks like the sort of book my mum used to read when I was growing up. So it looks like the sort of books you would nowadays get in charity shops rather than supermarkets. So to see that there are new books coming out was really exciting, and I know my mum's also looking forward to this book when I was talking to her about it. Google mentions the book will have a whirlwind romance, but I'm honestly hoping it will be more in line with the murder mystery romance books that my mum has read. Where whirlwind means they got swept off their feet, had a few good dates, evenings with wine or Chinese potentially. But it's mostly about murder mystery. I think there is a partial amnesia element to it, because Theo can't remember anything about a portion of her past, and her new lover has swept her off her feet to a cabin where she has been before, but she doesn't know or have any memory of it. She just knows that in essence she's been here before. Let's have a look. She knows she's in danger. Can she uncover the secrets of Dalton's family, or will she die trying? I think the romance element will also potentially be a slow burn, which is something that I am kind of into reading, so we shall see. I think this will be one of those where we slowly see the main character uncover the secrets, and then towards the end potentially have a happily ever after. However, these are the sort of books, or at least this is the vibe I'm getting from the book, I could completely be wrong, where the books could go either way. It could be a happy ending, it could be an awful ending, it could be never sold. We don't actually know. This author is new to me. It's okay, Alice Marshall. I haven't read any of their books before, but it's going to be interesting for me personally to see how this author will have wrote the book. I may even buy this one brand new. When it comes to murder mysteries, I usually don't, because there's so many on the market, there's so many out there that you can read, and you can usually get tons of them cheap in charity shops. However, this one is interesting enough for me to be considering buying it brand new. So yeah, that's the vibes and the summary of A Killing Cold by Kate Alice Marshall. I haven't heard of her before. It's a new author for me, and she's also a best-selling author, so we shall see. I do want to briefly talk about a book that caught my eye, but I won't be picking up because there's a mention of potential spies, but I want to include these in honourable mentions because I just love the art style. So we've got Ali Hazelwood, coming out with a new book. No, sorry, not Ali Hazelwood. Tessa Bailey's coming out with a new book called Dream Girl Drama, and it caught my eye because the art is gorgeous. However, I'm probably not going to be reading the book, but if there are anyone who, does like romance books, that might be one worth picking out. So that's also coming out on the 4th. The simple art, the plain background, it just does something to me. I've never enjoyed books that are usually in that sort of style other than Fangirl, and I think there was one of Ali Hazelwood's books, Love Theoretically, which I did enjoy, but usually the contents of those books now it's not something I'm into anymore. There is another there was an Ali Hazelwood book, so she's coming out with Deep End, and I really enjoyed the cover of that. The front cover it's coming out on Kindle, and it reminds me of Powder and Echo from that one scene in Arcane. Just the front cover for some reason, I can't figure out why. Something about the hands, so I figured I would just briefly mention that, even though it's not a book that I will be getting. But yeah, so on to the next book. So another book I'm interested in, which may be spicy, but I heard there's murder and adventure in this one, is Scythe and Sparrow. The front cover is gorgeous, and this is another new author to me, Brynne Weaver. I hope I'm saying that right. I'm really Brynne Weaver. I hope I'm saying that right. But it's based in the small town of Nebraska, and it's the 3rd book in a series, which I didn't know. I thought this was just a standalone book. I'll be honest. I mean, it is a book, but I might have to look back at the other books because I don't know. This might also be a book I just pick up and not bother with the other ones in the series, just because sometimes I do decide to make that decision, which isn't great, but we shall see. We shall see. So yeah, basically, the main character has lost his career as a surgeon and his near fiancée. I'm not sure what's going on. I'm curious what the murder, which is briefly mentioned, was. Was it the near fiancée, or was it like, I can't handle you, or was the fiancée like, I can't handle you anymore, we're going to need to break up, this is too much, It doesn't, the book doesn't, in the advertisements and where I see the book online, there's not a lot of detail about that, which is great because it's less spoilery, but at the same time, what's going on with the near fiancé situation? Also, what's going on with his surgeon career that's caused him to go back to his hometown? I believe it's his hometown. Yeah. Has anyone read the other books in the series? Apparently there's a murderer who's going to end up on his doorstep in this small town as well. Her act is on a motorcycle in a circus. So there's so much going on in this story. There's so much that, I feel that can be asked, and there's a lot that's probably going to be in this book. I really like the front cover of the book because the art style is really autumn. It seems autumn theme, kind of. There's a lot of black, but the blurb has so much going on. You've got serial killers, circus, romance, derailed, surgeon who's lost his finance, who I can't tell if he's alive or dead. But let me know in the comments if you know anything about the book, if you've read any of this series. This is Brynne Weaver, Scythe and Sparrow. It looked really good on Goodreads. If you read any of the series, Goodreads for some reason wasn't telling me what series it was in, which is unusual for Goodreads because usually they have all the information. But if you've read any of the series, what did you think of the series so far? And should I read the other books in the series before I read this one? I really liked this line from the back of the book. The longer you stay in one place, the more likely your ghosts are to catch up. I thought that was super cool. But yeah. Next book. So we've got Something in the Walls. I laughed when I read this cover because when I was reading what this book's about, because I've got a mate called Oscar. So to me, straight away, I was like, well, this book's going to be good because it's always great. It's always great to hear. Obviously, like, my mate's friend names pop up in books. That's usually a driving factor for me to buy books. Like, if a book has, like, the name Ryan, or if it has the name Abby, or if it has the name, like, Elizabeth in the book, I'm probably going to pick the book up just so I could be like, ha, your name was in this book. Does anyone else do that? probably just a me thing. I don't know what's going on in the book, but the art looks really interesting, and something in the walls. It sounds like a good mystery book. It makes the book title makes you wonder what the book is about. When we go to the blurb, there's a mention of psychology and a wedding. And as little as I care about weddings in books, I do also like wedding and psychology. I have a feeling this is going to be it's going to be one of those where you have to uncover, or will throughout the book be uncovering some secret, quite a few secrets. I mean, something in the walls. What's in the walls? Is it just secrets? Is there a body? We don't know. I was gasping for air because this book was just, looking at it, I was like, great, it's going to be more mystery than romance, which is going to be a really good change of pace. I'm very curious because, this book, something about it, I just want to read it. I want to know more about these characters. I'm really intrigued. I'm also interested to see, because psychology's been mentioned, there's probably going to be that introduction to the world a bit more broader, as well as looking at the characters on a more in-depth level, on looking at behavioural patterns, switching ones as well. There's a thing on Goodreads that says Canada and America only for a there's a competition where you can read a copy of the book if you're in America or Canada. I am in the UK. This isn't available to me, which is a shame. Hopefully Goodreads may potentially expand to that, but yeah, that's something in the walls, and the author is Daisy Pearce. Yeah, I hope I can get my hands on a version of the book in the UK. It's one I'm definitely going to be adding to my to-be-read list. In fact, it's already on there, so I'm looking forward to that being released. The next one, this is The Dollhouse Academy by Margarita Monteithmo. So we're going to be following the story of a girl called Ivy who's been studying at this academy for years, and she's just starting to notice just now that everything isn't as it seems. Something about this whole book just made me feel really unsettled. I don't know if anyone else has had difficulties in their life feeling like a doll, but I feel like this is a sort of a book that would talk about a character going through something similar, which potentially follows the theme of this idea of living like one, but in a really unique way. I also haven't done much research on this book, but it doesn't seem like one of those books I would pick up because it is pretty. It seems like one of those books I would pick up because the story seems like it will be detailed and gripping. This book is a piece of fiction which gives off the vibes it was wrote to make you feel uncomfortable, so I don't know if this would come under the very bizarre phenomenon we've seen on social media with weird literature books. I know I've seen a lot of booktubers and booktalkers talking about it, because I really want to find more of those psychologically confusing books, or those ones that mess with your mind a bit when you're reading them, because it makes you think, and you have to pace yourself when reading these books, otherwise you're going to miss so much. So I will definitely be getting this one. There's no doubt about it, and Ivy, whatever is going on in the Dollhouse Academy, we shall see how you navigate it. There seems to be a lot going on. I normally would have a lot to say about a book like this one, but this one just stopped me in the tracks because there's so much going on according to Goodreads with this book. I'm just going to take another direct quote from Goodreads. So on the back of the book it says, with Dark Academia, I can't say that word, Dark Academia twists an enormous heart. The Dollhouse Academy is a novel about the complexities of friendship, our desire to be seen and understood, and the true cost of making our dreams a reality. So yeah, that might actually be on the blurb, so do with that what you will. Dark Academia sounds like a great time to me, but we shall see. I really love books that tend to follow that theme, but trying to find a book which is Dark Academia and isn't Dark Romantasy. If you like Dark Romantasy, fair enough. Not a fan. So I'm hoping we are going to get a lot of details about this school and what's going on inside of it. Ooh, I've got one more book, I think. Oh, no, that was the last book, but I do have two more honourable mentions that seem to be really popular according to some online sources that I've been glancing through. For whatever reason, it was the blurb that kind of put me off the book, but I liked them enough to mention them on the list. So we've got Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 by Lisa Unger, which is due to release on the 25th of February, and Nothing Ever Happens Here by Serafina Nova Glass on the 11th of February. these are two books which just jumped out to me, but I don't know why. I like reading the backs of them, looking at the information that the publishers currently have for these books. There wasn't really much there that seemed like really enticing to me, but I did think the front cover of the books was quite pretty, or like it just felt familiar to me. So I may go back and read them, but these two books that are coming out this month just seemed. We'll see. I think more than anything, they'll probably be on my list to keep an eye out for book reviews on, and see what people think about them before because the books didn't seem like something I would read. So that's Close Your Eyes and Count to 10 by Lisa Unger, which is due to release the 25th, so at the end of the month, and Nothing Ever Happens Here by Seraphina Nova Glass on the 11th. Maybe a later date I'll go back and look at them more, but yeah. Are there any books coming out this month that you're looking forward to? Have you read any recent releases? What did you think of the books on this list? Or do you know anything? Do you know more about them? Have you bought any of them? Yeah. So, as always, have a wonderful evening, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!